Hello, I'm Jugvi. I'm guessing you've been playing with models and data for half a century now. Can you look back at some examples where data took you completely by surprise? Your eureka moment or something like, now how did that happen kind of a moment?
Thank you, Jugvi, for your interesting question. Have I seen very many surprises? Let me illustrate. When you get some data, is it something that you expect or not expect? Well, sometimes you have a pretty good idea what the data should look like. And then when you think you know it, suddenly all of your expectations fall apart. Let me give you one concrete example. Here I was analyzing data on credit card balances of millions of customers of a very large bank in Mexico. So they literally had about 8 million people with credit cards. So we started to look at the balances that they have. We said, okay, so we're going to plot them and see what they look like. Now, if you have a credit card, you would expect most people, most of the time, either might have zero balance or some negative balance. Sometimes fairly large negative balance, and of course, almost always within the limit of their credit limit. However, when we were looking at the data, all of a sudden the picture looked kind of funny. And we saw some of them cross in the other axis in the opposite direction and started looking at very large numbers. We are talking about hundreds of thousands of dollars positive balance. And at first we thought this must be a mistake in data entry. That happens. Then we started to look at the data more closely, and then we found that there was a clear pattern. These were people who were actually crossing into the US border and making purchases worth hundreds of thousands of dollars. They were not buying goods, they were actually buying houses. And that's when we stumbled into this huge business of money laundering that we were not expecting. And we immediately alerted the authorities, and the bank was extremely unhappy because they already knew that something was going on. They knew the whole thing was a charade, but since they were sitting on money where they didn't have to pay any interest, they were not going to make that data available to the government until we pointed them out.